This is Jonathan Ferguson, the Keeper of Firearms and Artillery at the Royal Armouries Museum in the UK, which houses a collection of thousands of iconic weapons from throughout history. And I'm your host, Dave Jewett. Before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that our Patreon is currently running a sale. All new patrons can get their first month for half price by using the code BIRTHDAY, or you can get 3 months free by choosing an annual subscription. We're continuing our exploration of the John Wick franchise, as this episode we're going to be breaking down the weapons of John Wick 4.
We're back to more armoured dudes who do seem to be going down this time. I really don't recommend a bow against whatever armour this is supposed to be, by the way. I quite like the knife grasped under the handguard of the AR. That's quite a fun, I won't say technique, because I don't think anyone would really do that, but clearly they've written this, we want to sing with Dragon's Breath. We're going to do it top down. It'd be like Hong Kong Massacre, which is what it's based on. Really good game, by the way.
If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe for more videos like this, and without further ado, I'll throw it over to Jonathan.
Yeah, so I don't think I named it in the previous film, but it is the Glock 34 Combat Master, isn't it? So the Combat Master is a sort of trim level almost. It's either a 2011 Combat Master, like John Wick 3, or here we are back to effectively his John Wick 2 pistol. This is right from the start, you see, this film was like, what? Like, okay, he's hunting down the guy from last time, great, but it's not the guy from last time. Somehow that's like an honorary position that just keeps changing. Therefore, why is he bothering? Because they'll just put someone else in the job. And then they go, actually, we're not going to hunt down the high table. We're going to do something else instead. The whole premise is just nonsense. The sort of administrative reload is nice there, where he's topping up his gun, essentially. And then all sorts of chaos ensues. We're back to more armoured dudes who do seem to be going down this time.
I often think in scenes like this, if you're henchman number 7, you've just seen John Wick take down 1 to 6, and you get knocked to the ground,
yeah.
What part of your brain goes, maybe I should just stay on the floor?
Absolutely.
Maybe this says more about me, but I'll lie down, that's fine.
Yeah, I might well put my hands up or fashion a white flag from some nearby fabric, because you know you're dying. It's like a reprise of the ending of 3, where we've got armoured guys where pistol rounds just can't stop them, which means it becomes a bit more martial artsy. I don't know. And it's more kind of riot armor, I think, in this, and more airsoft masks and like cheap airsoft helmets, and I don't know. By this point, it feels like science fiction, fantasy, I should say, not science fiction. But
I will go to bat for the Osaka Continental, though. We had the Continental for the first 3 films, such a beautiful location. The Osaka Continental did the same thing for me. It very much played into the aesthetics and the locale. But even the Enforcers coming up with the sort of tactical gear and then the tactical menpo, that was a cool look.
It is, but when you recognise it as plastic armour, it doesn't help with the bucket of unreality, drip, drip, drip thing. It's like there's a big sploosh goes in there and you go, I've literally seen that samurai style airsoft mask on the internet. But yeah, this is the thing with this film. It's beautifully made. It's incredibly skillfully shot, acted, choreographed. The effect, everything is top notch. It just doesn't do it for me, like especially the first 2. And even number 3. But yeah, the Continentals of different places thing is, the world building is good, making it more Japanese themed is good. And now, I should say, as we move through this essentially museum exhibit, reminiscent of our Asian gallery, where we have Japanese armor similarly laid out, it made me very, very nervous to see them fighting through this space. Like, you can have the art museum from John Wick 2, it's just some paintings, but and some sculptures. Artifacts, please don't shoot the artifacts. We did get a very slick Wick flick. I shouldn't let that pass without comment. So in terms of how they're handling armor versus firearms, or it could be edged weapons, but yeah, the idea of armor can't cover everything, except when it does, and it's very expensive. He's going for the gaps. So a bit like in 3 at the end, he's like targeting the neck in that case to avoid the bits that will stop the bullets. This is how armor has always worked, or weapons and armor have always sort of interrelated. If they had the suit Kevlar, whatever that is, whatever thickness and layers of that, in the gaps, like voiders of mail in an armor, then they wouldn't die, would they? They might be out of the fight, but they might live to fight another day. Like so few of John Wick's enemies do. There should be a John Wick Henchman Survivors Club. Oh, the swords. They've knocked the swords over. Ah, okay. Spike's Tactical Compressor. I don't remember this. It's clearly an AR-15 of some sort. Spike's Tactical, somewhat well known. American maker of AR-15. Quad rail handguards is a bit old hat.
Secure the hotel.
You can really tell that's that guy's moment. I mean, what are these guys doing? They've got rifles. There are multiples of them, and they're firing a few shots, mostly missing, and then closing to melee distance where they get absolutely annihilated. That was interesting. Now, so John Wick's relationship with quote-unquote assault rifles, AR-15s in particular, he starts out in 1, caning it full auto from that Kohari Arms 416 knockoff. Then in 2, he's very clinical and semi-automatic only. Then he does the same thing with the pistol caliber MPX in 3, pretty much. And here he's mostly semi. Then he seems to flick to automatic and shoots a burst through the glass. And I like the change of pace from semi to automatic. Either that or his finger is just that fast, but seems to me that's a good 700 rounds per minute or thereabouts. Now that does mean that shooting full auto makes it very hard to count your rounds, and that plays into the scene where he thinks he's maybe got a last couple of shots and he doesn't, and he has to go all nunchucks. So once again we see ammunition supply factoring into the storytelling, as it were. Now Kane here, cool character, has his own gun, which is kind of a reflection of John's first gun, the HKP 30L with the compensator on the end. He's got another P365 SIG-Sauer, similar to Halle Berry's character from 3, but it has this device on the end, and it does make him seem a bit more like a, customized weapons always imply this is a special character. Now this is apparently the SAS variant of the 365, not Special Air Service, or Super Army Soldiers for that matter.
Super Army Soldiers.
But in fact, SIG anti-snag. So the controls are minimal. I've seen this on a few more modern pistols where we've made all of our controls much bigger and easier to actuate, and then we've realized that certain people actually don't want that. They don't want mag catches getting bumped. They don't want safety or decockers getting knocked, or disassembly levers getting knocked out of place. So they knock off all of the high points of those controls, or delete them in some cases. So the base pistol is that. Oh wait, hang on. If I remember rightly, they have actually removed the sights from this gun because the character is blind. Am I right about that?
Yes.
I can't remember. I think the SAS does have lower profile irons. I might have made that up, but this has no sights because he can't use them. Why would he need them? And then it's extra quick to draw, but he gets the compensator for flatter shooting, which in theory would help him with his hyper daredevil sort of sense of hearing, or however it is that he's doing the skilled fighting that he's doing.
And there's another nice moment that I only noticed when I was going back through and watching all this again, is that to check the chamber he puts his finger in instead of press checking like Keanu does in the previous shot.
Yep.
He's actively using his fingertip to see if there's a round available to fire, which is such a nice little touch.
That is well thought through. Yeah. This is, of course, the sort of samurai movie trope of the blind swordsman. Well, it actually goes back further than that, doesn't it, into history. But he's also a blind gunman.
Yeah, his sword is in his cane.
Yeah. I think it does. It's one of many things that stretches credulity, but it is undeniably cool. And when I say stretches credulity, it kind of breaks into credulity's living room and takes a dump on its sofa. I will say that unless these guys get custom in-ear hearing protection, they're all going to be very deaf with all of this close quarters, like deflection and hand trapping.
For EXP's first birthday, we are running a sale over on our Patreon. All new patrons can get their first month for half price by using the code BIRTHDAY, or you can get 3 months free by choosing an annual subscription, which means you can get access to over an entire year's worth of extended Director's Cut episodes and exclusive Patreon content for half price up until the end of February. We've also got a sale on our merch, 10% off all orders on expvideo.info, including our limited edition birthday t-shirt by using code BIRTHDAY10. Every single patron and every piece of merch sold goes a huge way into supporting the work we do here at EXP and allows us to continue making cool content like this. So thank you to everyone who checks out the links in the description below, but now I'll get back to the video.
So this is another weird throwback. We had our let's build ourselves a revolver from 3. but the weapons otherwise were pretty capable in theory, even if some of them were PCCs or whatever. Odd choice to have a lever gun. So this is a Marlin lever action with an M-LOK forend, a brake on the muzzle. Is it a 94 or a 95? 94, I think.
Yes, 94.
You can see you can always tell these things from Winchesters, even from, so the pivot point of the lever and the great big visible bolt on the side of the weapon above the loading gate that will come back as he cocks this thing. Is this something any sort of real life assassin would choose? No, absolutely not. It's one of the least plausible guns, I think, in the whole franchise. But yeah, that's something they haven't done with this. So they have that full length rail on the top, but there isn't even a little micro red dot, which I really think, if you're going to have something modern like this, you really should. Again, it's I can't deny it's really cool that he's using this gun, but why is he using this gun? Yeah, so a bit of a traditionalist, this guy. He's got his lever action, I guess carbine we'd call it, and his six gun. Bit of a sort of Western vibe going on there, or like a very modern Western vibe. And I must admit, when this revolver first appeared, I think it was either the trailer or a promo photo or something, the wooden grips they've got on there, and the angle that I could see it from, I was convinced that it was a rare Czech revolver. They're called the ZKR 551. I may even have said that somewhere. If I did, I'm wrong. IMFDB has it right. It is, in fact, some flavour of Smith & Wesson 686. The barrel doesn't quite look right, but I think that's just the lighting. I think they've got it right there. So, closest thing we've got to that, and it isn't really that close, but I thought it was interesting to show you anyway. So we do have a 686. So it's 357 Magnum, for those of you who don't know. And this one is actually the opposite of what's in the movie. The one that's in the movie has quite a sculpted slimline barrel. This thing has a great big muzzle weight on it, and it's actually the Precision Pistol Competition is its official name, PPC. It's for a certain style of competition with some sort of, sometimes a rib type sight, or this at least more elaborate target adjustable like this, and a muzzle weight on the barrel, and it's marked 686 PPC. Really doesn't look much like the one in the movie, but it's an interesting snapshot of competition shooting with the same pattern of revolver, and not the thing I thought it was. It's funny how much a pair of grips can change the look of something. Dracarys, I think, is a TTI, Tower and Tactical Innovations, specific model of the Genesis 12 shotgun, which is a AR adjacent. It's an AR-10 lower receiver, and then a sort of completely proprietary upper receiver with a short recoil operated system. And it's clearly a magazine-fed shotgun. So developed to be actually functional, because a lot of magazine-fed shotguns aren't great, so they're getting better. And this is one that is apparently very good.
Well, since you've only watched the first 2 seasons of Game of Thrones, I don't know if you'll know this, but Dracarys is High Valyrian for Dragonfire, and it's what's yelled to the dragons to tell them to start burning Lannisters alive. So
I see.
Seeing the shotgun in action with a lot of dragon's breath, that's the connection.
Yeah, we've got layers of pop culture and gun stuff here, haven't we? We've got a gun designed for competition, which, as we know, is a big part of the John Wick gun action, or its origins anyway. Clearly, they've written this. We want to sing with dragon's breath. We're going to do it top down. It'd be like Hong Kong Massacre, which is what it's based on. Really good game, by the way. Taron, what can you do? So he works with Genesis, and they come up with this specific John Wick edition, essentially, of their shotgun, developed for the movie. Like, this movie, more than any of them, has guns in it, at least a couple of guns in it, that have been developed for the film, first and foremost, and for others secondarily. Like, you can compete with them, you can buy them as collectors or whatever, but their first primary purpose is to be a John Wick gun. So it's all about that scene that we're going to see with the overhead dragon's breath stuff, which is one of the best scenes in the whole franchise. As much as I'm down on number 4 as a movie, you cannot say that isn't an amazing scene. I hadn't remembered we actually see the box that says Dragon's Breath on it, and then of course we get the test with them testing it out, where we go, oh right, so this is going to be a new and interesting action scene, and a fantastic music track as well over the top, really well shot. We transition, I think, from a sort of circling, almost drone shot to overhead, and it just works really, really well. The reality of this is that, well, kind of more what you see there, like the guy isn't necessarily killed outright by the shot. He's more really inconvenienced by being on fire. Pure Dragon's Breath, as that box was labelled, is only incendiary. It can only set you on fire. Not a fun time, I'll grant you, but it's not going to put a guy down in a reliable way in a scenario like this. So what this is implied to be by default is what does exist, which is a mixture of Dragon's Breath and buckshot. There are at least one company making a load that is ballistically effective and also creates Dragon's Breath. I don't know if they have such a big Dragon's Breath effect as we see here, because obviously some of that shell is going to be filled with actual shot. So it's a little bit fantasy, but I absolutely give them a pass for how cool this looks. And also just a different perspective on the action, obviously. But you see the missed shots impact the pillars and the walls. You see the fatal shots hit, obviously, and just the visual splendor of Dragon's Breath, in contrast to the normal muzzle flashes that we're also seeing, of course. The smoke of bullet impacts, the damage to the fabric of the building. It's everything that's great about John Wick in one scene. It's so good.
I'm going to need a gun.
And there we go. So I was going to say the most recent hero pistol for John Wick, but it's not. It is chronologically. I mean, it's been out for a while now, but Ballerina, he has another TTI pistol. The Viper, which, if I have this straight, is later than the Sand Viper and the Pit Viper, but it's supposed to have been made first. I hope I've got that right. So narratively, it comes first because the Viper. So this would be the first TTI 2011 that John gets, narratively speaking. And then actually, I think the Pit Viper was the first actually created with John Wick in mind. Very much so. I think they say on the website it's designed for John Wick or for like Master Assassins or whatever. And then there's the Sand Viper, which is the one in the sandy colours with a red dot cut and red dot sight. The Sand Viper and the Pit Viper are basically the same pistol. The Pit Viper has fibre optic iron sights and an island barrel, so it's supposed to make it extra accurate that the front sight stays put and the slide moves around it. And the other approach with the Sand Viper is a red dot. So again, interesting that they did not give the red dot pistol to John and they went for the traditional silhouette of an iron-sighted pistol, albeit with some pretty Gucci sights.
Ambidextrous safeties.
Oh, did Lawrence Fishburne just say ambidextrous? I really hope not. That's
Ambidextrous safeties.
Oh, he does say ambidextrous. It's subtle, but it's there. So this is a pet hate of mine. It's ambidextrous, meaning, of course, controls on both sides. Ambidextrous is a weird mispronunciation that is extremely common in the gun world, much less in the acting world, and it just makes my brain twitch. I don't remember noticing that at the time. Now we get to the bit that's a bit silly.
This Viper has ferocious fangs.
I mean, apart from ferocious fangs being a bit of a cringe line, quite honestly, doesn't really make any sense. So John then tries to test that out. He locks the slide open and he looks at the fangs. But I remember in the cinema going, where? Where are the fangs? What are you talking about? And he's looking at the gun like he's been directed to do, and you just don't understand what he means. Now, that actually adds a bit to the action fun of it when later on we see what he means by that, but it's a bit silly. We were doing so well up to that point. The payoff then is for the ferocious fangs is that he does, and we've seen this before, it's not an original idea of taking the slide assembly off a pistol and using the dust cover as an impact slash semi-edged. No, I guess the difference here is they really are edged, pointed weapons, but there's at least one other. I'm trying to think what it is. It's escaping me. Someone gets I think a Beretta frame in the neck. Anyway, it's been done before. Here, the fangs that are not at all protruding on the pistol when it's assembled, when you take off the slide assembly, you get these sharp protruding points on the dust cover, which I think must actually be just part of the design. And they noticed them and went, wow, maybe we should knock the edges off those. They're a bit sharp. And they would have gone, well, no, because we'll use them in the movie as a way for him to use it as a melee weapon. Rather than just use a pistol whip or flip it round and butt stroke with it, he strips off the top of the weapon and stabs the guy with the frame. Hence, Lawrence Fishburne reference is paid off.
The 20 or so minutes that came after him acquiring this gun is a difficult watch. Not because it's bad, but I just feel every time he's slammed into the side of a van, falling down the stairs, I'm just wincing at it. I'm just like, ow.
Yeah, I just... It gets to the point where he's a superhero. Nothing he does matters. He can't be killed with bullets. He can't be killed with multiple car impacts. He can't be killed with multiple falls from height onto hard surfaces. And then you you're coming to terms with that. You're going, okay, he's a superhero. He can't be killed. He's going to prevail. And then the ending happens. And that's what really killed the movie for me. I actually quite like the fight up the stairs. I don't so much mind him having to fall back down the stairs multiple times. That feels like it's like a bit on the nose maybe, but the sort of Sisyphus thing. The only deal breakers for me are those two very, very heavy falls that we've already seen put him out of the fight at the end of 3, and he gets 2 more of them in this, and he's fine. Then he gets shot in the place where we're told that that's not lethal and dies anyway. It's like, what? What are you doing? This has become switch your brain off. Yeah, it's funny how all these impacts take other guys out, but not John. He is the hero. Yeah, the Thompson Center, I think, is their full name with the hyphen. I used to think it was Center Contender as the name of the gun in my ignorant youth. But so the Contender, we have a number of contenders. This is one of them. This is the forerunner of the Encore. Different frame shape. It's a rather cooler design, I have to say, the Encore. Bull barrel on this one, as there is in the movie. Shorter barrel, of course, though. They're riffing on the dueling pistol. In fact, I remember I think in the trailer, when I first glimpsed what was going on here, going, oh, they're going to go for the Bond percussion pistol duel, and then going, no, that's a Thompson. So this one's actually broken that I picked up, so it won't open, but this is supposed to tilt down. I always think of the film Hard Target with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Lance Henriksen. Various different chamberings for these. I'm not sure which pistol caliber these are supposed to be. The one I happen to have picked up is 223 Remington, would you believe? It's a rifle cartridge. So I can't join them, so I've beaten them by picking up a rifle caliber. The pistol choice, I think, is really good. Like, what would you use for a modern day ritualized duel with pistols? It would be some single shot, slightly ornate looking thing like this that looks good in a case. Now, you can't really see them very well, I don't think, in the movie, but they have been custom engraved, these things. So they've done a really nice job. So there is a medallion in the grip with a sort of fleur-de-lis symbol. I can't quite make out. Well, it's more of like a flower, like a lily, something like that. And then these sprays of foliage. And one of them, it's more like flame actually, is bursting out of the mouth of a skull. So it's a very John Wick appropriate pair of pistols here. You don't really get to see them to best advantage in the film, unfortunately. But yeah, very cool. A very cool pair of guns to end the series on.
Thank you all for watching. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to tell us what other games, movies, TV shows, or beyond you would like to see on the show, and of course, subscribe. As always, I want to give a massive shout out to all of our wonderful patrons for supporting EXP and for allowing us to continue making cool content like this. Links to support Jonathan and the Royal Armouries will also be in the description below, so make sure you check those out as well. But until next episode, I want to say thank you once more for watching, for supporting EXP, and we will see you very soon.
Your obligation to the table is satisfied, John Wick.